basic rules of engagement, right? So anyhow, that kind of the questionable there. So anyhow, so they talk about that. And then slaughtering, I defined for you, obviously that's animal slaughtering. Now before we go into animal slaughtering, I know you guys, everyone has opinions on animal slaughtering and so forth. But why would the Prophet ﷺ, when he says that Allah has written that everything has perfection in it, ihsan, and then he gives you these two examples. He doesn't talk about, treating your parents good, and you should pray this way with total concentration. But he gives you an example of killing and slaughtering animals for. Why would the Prophet bring these two examples out of all the different things that he could have mentioned, if you will? What would be the wisdom of that? Sorry?
Be kind to animals.
Be kind to animals. Okay, yeah, that's true. But why would he bring these examples for?
Because we need, because we eat food and we slaughter them. So that's why, he is telling us to be gentle with the animal when you are using them for your benefit.
Okay, so something practical, definitely. Okay, what else? What could you say the question? The question is that why would the Prophet ﷺ bring these two examples? When I say that, I want you guys all to do excellent in your work, in your life, right? I want you to go beyond the limits. So therefore, when you brush your teeth, make sure you brush all your teeth, right? Perfect. Like, why would you bring that example for, right? You could have told me to pray with total concentration. You could have told me that, when you donate as much as you can, etc. But why would he bring up these examples about killing and talking about slaughtering animals for?
I would say one for like law.
Okay, one's for Allah. Okay.
Slaughtering.
Okay, that's fine. It's all good.
It feels like that was the top of the examples. All the other ones will fall under it. It feels like it's brushing the teeth. It's a basic thing. Then they will ask why not that. But if he says this thing, everything covers under it.
Okay, I can kind of see that extent, right? So prayer really is not underneath it. But one thing why is because these are two things people will belittle. They won't think about it. I'm going into war. I'm just going to stab him. I'm going to hit him on his head. Well, hold on. We have to have etiquettes when we fight. Like, we have to, you can't just, cut this leg off or something. No. And an animal, who cares about animals? It's a sheep. Big deal. Let me just kick him and put him on the ground and hit him upside his head. We're going to eat that meat. He doesn't talk, right? So here, the Prophet knows that these are two things that what most people wouldn't even think about doing ihsan. Yeah, treating your parents well with ihsan, everyone will think about that. Praying with ihsan, everyone will think about that. But these are two aspects nobody would think about. And obviously we know today with the war that's going on, we have this drone that just dropped a bomb in Mosul and stuff like that, and it killed a bunch of civilians and so forth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's no more etiquettes anymore. It's whatever, big deal. There's drones that don't have people in anymore, just like a video game. Killing people, then 10 civilians died. Anybody going to admit to that? Anyone going to pay that family any money? No one cares anymore, right? So here the Prophet said, no, there's even etiquettes in that, the way you even kill, right? And of course the animals and so forth. So let's go over a little bit in terms of that. So there's some hadith here that's really eye-opening, if you will. Because sometimes if you think about animals, everyone says big deal, who cares? Here in America, animals have a lot of rights, we all know. You can't treat a dog, you don't treat a dog properly, you might go to jail. If you don't treat a human right, big deal. Some guys on the street not eating, but if a dog's not eating, oh my God, right? And call the Humane Society, do something, right? So look at these look at the hadith, look at what the sayings of the Prophet ﷺ. Man, imagine he's amongst a bunch of Arabs in a desert, and look what he's saying. One time the Prophet ﷺ was on a journey with his companions, and he went to go relieve himself, went to use the bathroom, right? And usually when he does that, he goes far away from where no one can see him. So when he came back, he saw there was a little red bird. I remember a cardinal or something like this, if you will. And he had the bird had two little babies. Right? All the mothers in the crowd know about how they are with babies, right? So even birds have that, right? So it had two little babies. So one of the companions took the baby chicks. Why? I don't know. You're not really going to have much meat on that, but I don't know. They took it, right? So the red bird came forward, this little mother bird, and starts flapping its wings and making all this noise. So at that moment, the Prophet came back. And he's like, what's going on here with this little bird, right? And he said, who has distressed this bird by taking away its children? Return those chicks back to her. Even this little bird is probably like more than maybe 3 inches tall off the ground. That little bird, that little mama bird has hukuk, has rights, right? And even the Prophet ﷺ, even though he has tons of other things in the world to think about, but he said like this little bird, give her her kids back, if you will. Right? Who would think about that, right? Look at the Prophet ﷺ, rahmatul lil alameen, right? Mercy to the whole world as he was, right? Imagine the Arabs at that time, the companion, like, what are you talking about? We have people trying to kill us. We're trying to, trying to live, trying to eat, trying to find some food. And you're talking about birds? No, this is exactly what a Muslim is. Because it's a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore, it has certain respect and certain rights, everything we do, right? Some people, we don't hear this too much. But people say, Shahid, what are you talking about animals for, man? There's people dying in Syria, there's people dying in Palestine, right? We don't have time to talk about this. So what do you mean? During the time of the Prophet there wasn't people dying? Wasn't people getting under threat? No. Rights are rights. Doesn't mean you push it to the corner and then you think about something else, right? So here the Prophet, even with this small instance, he gave the rights back to the bird. And you find something with animals, even mother animals, right? We all know the mother dog, or the mother bear, right? The mother whale, right? Any mother, it's like natural things, subhanAllah. Human mothers, of course, right? If you do anything to the baby, you come close to the baby, they go crazy. It's just a natural instinct. Right, subhanAllah, it's just like the fitrah of a mom, if you will, right? And that's sort of the mercy there. Another thing here, another hadith that we have, just to kind of emphasize this point. The Prophet one time he passed by a camel, right? He's walking in Medina, there was a camel there. And the camel was like, I don't know what kind of noise a camel actually makes, but anyhow, was making a noise of distress. And its eyes was watering. Even humans, we go through pain, water comes from our eyes. The Prophet ﷺ came to it and stroked his back, right? And said, so it calmed down, relaxed. Then he announced, who is the owner of this camel? And whom does this camel belong to? And then one of the young men from Medina came out and said, oh, that's my camel, what's going on? So what's the issue? He said, oh, it's mine, Rasulullah. The Prophet said, don't you fear Allah regarding this animal over which Allah has given you power over it? It complains to me that you're starving it and tiring it out. Right? What are camels? Camels are made for transporting things. And that's their job in their life, okay? That's what they do, right? But even that, you can't overburden it, right? So the Prophet takes this time and calls them out. Whose camel is this? That even that camel has rights, subhanAllah, right? And that's something just to think about. Sometimes in our Muslim, community, we have this negative thoughts about dogs. Like dogs like shaitan. Like if you see a dog, you should kick it. You should throw a rock at it. In Egypt, this was the case actually. Like they always little kids just throw rocks at dogs all the time. I don't know why. It's like a part of their the culture, if you will. I don't know, right? So you have all these dogs, all these marks on their body, and they're limping all the time. It's kind of a really weird situation over there. But anyhow, so here that even though it's a dog, it's Allah's creation. We all know that if it licks you, you're supposed to wash it X amount of times. There's different opinions on that and so forth. But it doesn't mean you just you have to kill it or you have to hit it with a rock or you have to whatever it might be, right? We know another hadith when the man was on a journey and he saw a dog and he went down the well, right? He was thirsty and he drank, and when he came up, he saw a dog panting, sticking out his tongue. And he's like, no, this dog is going through the same thing I just went through. But I'm glad I quenched my thirst, right? So what he did, he went back in the well, got water and gave it to the dog, and the Prophet mentioned that Allah rewarded him and blessed him. How does Allah reward people? Right? Well, forgiveness, inshallah Jannah, who knows exactly. But even that, and this is like a dog, right? Alhamdulillah, you see the mercy there. Another thing is that, another hadith I will go over this in terms of the meeting here, is that no Muslim who plants a seed or sows a crop from which birds or humans or animals eat from, without that counting for them as a charity, right? So whatever you plant in your backyard, some of you guys do gardening or something like that. We get mad when birds come and eat the orange or the apple. They peck it once or twice and they fly away. If you're going to eat the whole thing, you ruin the whole apple now. No one's going to eat that now. A bunch of ants are in there. But subhanAllah, if you think about it, you're alhamdulillah, I got sadaqah. A little bird, alhamdulillah, now you get to eat, you know what I mean? And it makes your outlook on life a little bit different. I don't know if I got to tell you the story about my tomato plant in my backyard. I have these really fat, ugly, caterpillars. And they're green, so you can't even see them on the tree. And I'd see all my tomatoes were getting or like getting like holes in them, and I didn't know where it's coming from. And then my mom's like, see, those are the caterpillars. Like, I didn't even see them, right? So I was all really mad, and I took them, I threw them off and so forth. I didn't touch them. I just I blew them off with the water or something like this, right? But, and then I didn't know this hadith until I read it later on. And I was like, subhanAllah, I was getting rewarded. I didn't know. I threw him in the trash can. I mean, had a lot of grass and other things. Hopefully he had a buffet in there, but anyhow. So it's just like subhanAllah. Even it makes your outlook in life a little bit different, right? That you're actually benefiting the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These topics, no one talks about it anymore. I don't know if you guys ever heard a khutbah about this before. People will walk up the khutbah properly. Why? Because you know what? We don't know our own belief anymore. We don't even know our own identity, right? We pick it up from our society. Like, who cares about birds? Who cares about water? It's all about getting what you want. And now look at this pollution. Look at all these stuff that's happening in society. Now it's all reversing back. Now people are like, oh, Muslims, you guys have this zabiha halal meat. You guys treat your animals. Now everyone likes us now because of this, right? And it's a green party, and everyone likes this type of stuff like this, right? But see, even ourselves, we don't really practice it ourselves, right? So we have a lot of these things. You don't have to be like a tree hugger, and you have to love the forest and all this kind of stuff. But here is as part of a Muslim to love nature and so forth. It's Allah's creation. You have certain respect to it, and it's something we need to bring back in our community and talk about. Even though I'm seeing it right now, a lot of you might be saying in your head, what the heck is going on today? I didn't know. This is the hadith we're covering today. I didn't even know about it, right? But that's true. It's a shock at the beginning, but you know what? It needs a digest, and you need to teach your kids that. And I think the last time you were talking about what was it, like a cat or something, or that you said Manha was crying or something? A lizard.
Yeah.
Right? So alhamdulillah, you see that's like a fitrah of a child, right? I think it was in the room and he threw it out.
Right.
Did it die or?
No, we picked it up and then we left it in the trash can.
Oh, he's doing the trash can. It's still alive, or maybe it went somewhere else, but right. And how his daughter was crying about it, and that's just a natural fitrah of an innocent child. That's something that was alive. We don't care anymore. Big deal. The lizard just. I remember when I was young, we used to throw rocks and try to hit the lizard on the wall. And they're pretty fast, very hard to get them. But anyhow, no, that shows you that's a natural state. We kind of lost that because of movies and other kind of other things that we have. We forget about these type of things. Anyhow, I don't want to harp too much more on that, but just bring that up. Last point I want to bring up this is that the rights of animals is here. Just go to here where the Prophet said in the next part of the hadith that says that let each one of you sharpen his blade and spare the suffering of the animals he slaughtered, right? And this is a big issue now, especially in America now. I think if you guys ever watched how a slaughterhouse, go to YouTube and put slaughterhouses in America. How do they kill the animals? And if you've seen a lot of it's like electrocution, right? They electrocute the even birds and this thing called electric bolts, where they go up to the cow, they put them in this little confined area, and they shock the head, and it just gets stunned like crazy. And then the thing lets go, and it falls on the ground, and then someone goes and actually and kills it, right? And I know. If you ever try to slaughter a cow before, you need 5 people to hold that thing down, or else they will kick you, or you might get hurt, right? But this is how the animals are treated in the farmhouses. The birds are the worst ones, right? The chickens, they're in these houses with no mirrors, no windows, and they could barely move. And they put so much hormones and stuff in their feed, where they get fat really quick, in a couple months or a couple days. To the point that they can't even walk, their legs are not strong enough. So they take 2 or 3 steps and they fall down. And they'll take 2 or 3 steps and they fall down. And then, so now they just stay there and they'll just eat all day long. And I really recommend you a movie to watch. It's called Food Inc. Anybody watch Food Inc? Anyone see? Food Inc. Food, F-O-O-D. Food, F-O-O-D-I-N-C. 2 words.
Is that on YouTube?
You can find it on YouTube. If you have Netflix, if you have Amazon Prime, you might be able to find that too. So it's basically a documentary about the food industry in America. It's kind of old now, but it's still the same pretty much. It's basically only 3 companies that rule all the meat that we have in our Albertsons and our Stater Brothers, Tyson and these different other farmers, Foster Farms and all this stuff. And so they all, it's like an industry pretty much now, right? So pretty much getting the animal as fat as you can in a quick amount of time, and then killing it, and then get another baby, fat as you can. It's, who cares about its life, you know what I mean? That's why now you get to see animals that are called free roaming, or cage-free chickens, right? If you go to Costco, they have cage-free eggs now, where the chickens are not in a cage, they're allowed to like walk and have a normal life, and so forth, and grass-fed cows. Why do they put grass-fed for? I don't know if you guys know about the story about this, but they started feeding cows corn. I don't know if you guys know about corn syrup. Corn syrup is a really big thing. Basically, that's like the big explosion that happened a couple of years ago, many years ago, where corn syrup was a big thing. They found they could take corn and they could make a syrup out of it, and you can make that into candy, you can put that to sweeten food, and now also that corn you could give to cows, because corn is something that's really cheap to grow, and hay is something that it only grows in the summer. And then you have to store it in the remember silos, there's a thing called silos in the barn for the winter, for the cows to eat. But that's a lot of work. The corn you can have all the time, you can freeze it. But corn has a lot of antibodies in it, and naturally cows don't eat corn. If you put a cow outside, he's not going to go eat corn. First of all, you have to peel it. He's not going to do that. He's going to eat what? Grass. That's what Allah made him to do. They do all day, all they do, they keep on eating grass all day long. That's what they do, right? So that has changed the meat in the body of the cow, diseases, all type of stuff. But we don't know, we eat that, and then we think that, where does cancer come from, where does this come from, and so forth like that. It's all connected, right? I know a lot of people think this is the conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But you should really look up to, as a Muslim, we should be very conscious about it. That's why Zabiha meat is amazing, because now we have grass-fed, like I think here, Simply Fresh right here, it says right there, grass-fed cows, right? It's not fed by corn or anything else, and free roaming and blah, 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 all this stuff, humanely treated, etc. So just be conscious of that. That's why we have hadith like this, because it's very important for us. Because that same meat, whatever you eat, is going to affect your body. That's just the way it works. We should really understand that.
There are eggs too, cage-free.
Cage-free, yeah, cage-free for the chickens, yeah.
Where do we get cage-free halal chicken?
There's Tahir chicken.
Is that cage-free?
That I think it's cage-free, and also Tahir, yeah, Tahir.
In Chino, there is the Billy Farms. They sell, eggs.
Oh, Billy, yeah.
Billy Farms.
Yeah.
They sell eggs,
Yeah,
which are,
right.
hormone.
Yeah, and it's almost the same price that Albertson, honestly, like Seder Brothers. It's in Chino.
30 count, jumbo.
Yeah.
Is like $7.75.
Yeah, you get it. And also they have ones with omega-3 in it,
Yeah.
where they feed the chickens omega-3. I forgot what they put in there, but it's good. It goes in their body and their meat, and then goes into the egg. And we all know omega-3 is a good thing for the heart.
And they have a sign and everything.
Yeah. So you
And it is a drive-through.
Yeah, I bought eggs from them before.
We bring from there.
Yeah, I know that.
Billy
Farm in
Chino.
In Chino, yeah. Billy Farm.
Billy Farm.
Yeah. Billy, like Billy.
Yeah. Billy Farm.
Do they slaughter also, or?
If you ask them, they will give you. If you
I
ask
think they
them.
do that, yeah. I'm not too sure.
They have brown eggs, white eggs, and the jumbo eggs are good.
And you can see their chickens are just like roaming around. They're not in a cage. They're
But
just,
what I heard was, I don't know if it's at the same place, but what I heard was you have to slaughter yourself, bring home or whatever, slaughter yourself.
oh, you have to do it yourself? No, you can pay the guy to do it.
Cleaning and everything.
Oh, no, I think they'll do it. I'm not too sure about Billy though, but I mean, if you ask him, he'll probably let you know around there. A lot of farms still in Chino.
There is the opposite. They have, also
Yeah.
chicken.
I forgot to
Chicken, you can buy live chicken, from there.
Yeah, that's what I
Also
works.
cage free. Yeah, it's a Mexican guy.
It's on they have a website, Billy Farm.
Yeah,
Right.
put in Google, you'll see it.
Or you can see
Billy
on the
Farm,
web,
put it in,
it's on East
Chino.
End Street. East End Street.
Thank you.
In Chino.
Right. So here the Prophet ﷺ talked about here that spare the suffering. It means here that to sacrifice the animal with a strong striking to slaughter it, right? One strike as fast as you can. Don't go there like just sawing the neck of a cow or a bird or a chicken. That all has feelings and so forth. So you can see that you're going to slaughter the animal, sharpen your blade, and spare the suffering of it. So spare the suffering is very general. So that means multiple things. Is not to slaughter another animal in front of that animal, because they're smart. They're not the most intelligent animals in the world. But if they see another cow getting slaughtered right in front of them, they're going to understand that. They're going to see them. They're going to jump and they're going to try to move, etc. Right? And so all these things should go into the treatment of how to make sure the animal is not suffering at all. They have rights also. So here we have four main conditions in terms of how you slaughter animals. You might never do this yourself, because most of us are not farmers, but at least we should know about it. Number one is about the person that's slaughtering. It should be a Muslim or a Jew or a Christian. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that the meat of the Ahl al-Kitab, the people of the book, which are the Christians and the Jews, are halal for us to eat, and our meat is halal for them to consume, if you will, to take in. Right? The thing is that when it comes to a Jew, they have a process called what? Kosher, right? And they have a nice stamp, and they are really professional about it, actually. And so you could actually find like kosher hot dogs, Nathan hot dogs and stuff in the grocery store, right? You could eat those, if you will. Now the thing with the Christians, they don't really have a standard. You can't see this Albertsons or Sitter Brothers. Okay, most likely it's a Christian that slaughtered it. Maybe not. They don't really have a symbol. Like In-N-Out, for example. No one likes the In-N-Out example, but I'm gonna tell you it anyhow. So In-N-Out, for example, is known to be Christian. Like Chick-fil-A is also known to be very Christian. I don't think they're open on Sundays actually, because they're very strict. Right? Even on In-N-Out, if you look on the bottom of the fries, they have like a passage of the Bible, I think John 3:16 or something like that. I forgot, Revelations or something, I forgot what. Right? They sneak it on the bottom, you don't even know what's there. But anyhow, I don't know how much dawah that's actually doing, but anyhow. So the thing is though, it's doubtful when you get meat from Albertsons that, okay, it was a Christian that did it, right? And so forth. So I would just kind of refrain from it. That would be easier if you will. Right? Go ahead.
You just now said that kosher is allowed, but it doesn't fulfill the third condition, saying Allah's name before slaughter.
Okay, so very good. We're going to get to that right now, inshallah. So let me just go to number 2 and I'll come back. That's a good point. Yeah, I was going to throw that in. So now, the second one is that the knife and tool has to be sharp, right? Basically, whatever you're going to use to kill that animal shouldn't be something that's you're suffering the animal. Be really quick. Number 3 is called tasmiyah. It's mentioning the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before the animal is slaughtered. Okay. The thing is with the Jews, we know that they don't worship anything other than Allah. Their issues with Prophet Muhammad. They just don't believe in Prophet Muhammad, they didn't believe in Jesus. Right? So they don't really are not a Trinity type based religion or whatever, 4 or 5 or 3 or 7 different gods, right? That they're only believe in one true God. So here though, when it comes to kosher, we know, and this has been a study, Sheikh Yasser Qadi wrote a paper on this at the Amjad conference a couple of years ago. Maybe I can share it with you guys and send it out to you guys, where he actually researched the whole kosher process, right? And how they do it, what names they say before they slaughter, how they treat the animal and so forth, right? And it's actually, it's stricter, it's more stricter. It's stricter than halal or Muslim guidelines. Actually, they're very, very strict on that. And I can maybe share that article with you. You can read it. So they're the ones that mention Allah's name. Now the Christians, now if they say in the name of Jesus, right, the Son of the Father or the Lord, and they slaughter the animal, sorry, that doesn't cut for us. Even though they understand that's God for them, it doesn't work for us. Now they say in the name of the Lord or the Father, which is, for them, it's the main Allah, if you will. That works. Now, what they say and what they do, no one knows really. That's the issue. That's why I'm saying, even with In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A, I'm not too sure. You call them and ask them, where do you get your meat from and how do you guys slaughter? I'm assuming somebody already did this already. Probably Google it. It'll probably come up or something.
They probably wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know. The thing with In-N-Out, let me tell you the In-N-Out thing. So we had a debate that happened a couple months ago at Omar Photo Masjid, right? Sheikh Farhan Zuberi from YOK was talking about the In-N-Out issue. So they actually called In-N-Out and asked them, so how do you slaughter your meat? And they said that we shock the animal with electric bolts in the head, and then it falls down, and then we slaughter it. But they said that it's a fatal shock, meaning that when they shock it in the head, the cow dies. It doesn't just make him unconscious. He actually dies. And then they slaughter the animal. What's the issue with that?
It's already dead.
Already caused pain, torture.
Not that, I think you said it. It's carry on meat now. It's like roadkill, pretty much. Because it's already dead, now you're slaughtering. It doesn't matter. We walk outside and we
the blood,
didn't go off, yes.
Didn't go on.
Exactly. when the animal is dying, the blood has to rush out.
Yeah.
We'll talk about a little
All
bit.
the pathogens and all
All that stuff.
all the microbiome.
Exactly. So right, if we walk out right now and we find a cow, and some Muslim guy's like, this is my cow, it died in the parking lot here. Could we eat it? No, we
No.
can't. Because it had to be slaughtered right there. If it's dying, it's still alive, and it's moaning or something, and we slaughter really quick, that's fine. That's fine. We get the blood out. But if it's already dead, then that's an issue. But why is this so important? That's not because it mentions number 4, is that we have to let the blood flow from the body of the animal. Why? Because blood has a lot of bacteria. Right. What is, if you guys know about your kidneys, you guys know about your kidneys, right? What do your kidneys do? Filters, pretty much it's like a Brita filter for water, right? Brita filter for your blood. It basically filters all the nitrates and so forth, and that's how you urinate and so forth. That's why people, when they have dialysis, you can't urinate. Their kidneys don't work. So they have to hook themselves to a machine, and they have to do it. It's a really crazy process. If you've ever seen somebody on dialysis, may Allah give all those people on dialysis cure, it's something very, like, make dua, like you should really thank Allah for your kidneys. Like seriously, it's such, once you learn about this, add it to your dua list. Well, thank you for my kidneys, because when you lose that, subhanAllah, it's something that you never want to see somebody on dialysis. But so it takes out all the toxins of it, and nitrates and so forth. So the same thing when you don't take out the blood from the body, then all that bacteria starts growing, and that's going to affect the meat. You probably get sick. That's why you don't eat dead meat on the street or a dead deer you find, right? And also that you would find that what's excused is that if you buy meat at the grocery store or halal store, some ribs or something, and you come home and you see there's blood still in there. That's excused, right? If it's a lot of blood, then okay, that's an issue. But there's always going to be some type of blood you're going to find in the meat. It's just natural. It's hard to squeeze all that. It's not going to. You're most likely going to wash your meat anyhow and soak it in whatever vinegar or whatever, lemon or something like that, whatever you guys do, right? So that's going to take care of it. So let me go back to number 3 a little bit. So the thing is, though, why do some people say that we could eat at McDonald's and it's halal for us to eat, and I could eat at, I don't know, Sizzler or Red Lobster or...
Say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and eat.
So we have 2 things here. Number 1 is that Imam Shafi'i, rahimahullah, is of the opinion that the tasmiyah, saying Allah's name before you slaughter, is only for Muslims. So if a Jew or a Christian slaughter, they don't have to. That's not a requirement for them.
So, only for Muslims, meaning the one who's slaughtering, or what?
The Muslim guy is slaughtering, the Muslim man,
The one who's slaughtering.
the Muslim butcher, if you will. Okay. So if a Christian does it, and we know that some guy says, he's Christian, and this is my meat from my farm, right? We don't have to ask him, did you say Allah's name? You say Jesus? You say, what did you say? For him, that's not a requirement. The way he understood the ayah is that it's not a requirement from them, right? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in Surah An'am, chapter number 6, verse number 21, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا مِمَّا لَمْ يُذْكَرِ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ وَإِنَّهُ لَفِسْقٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not eat from that which upon Allah's name has not been mentioned upon. This is indeed disobedience. So you understood this ayah is talking to Muslims, it's addressing Muslims, not addressing the non-Muslims. So for him, he understood it. But he's the only one with this opinion. Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Ahmed, Imam Hanbal, rahimahullah, all the other 3 madhahib, is that they have to say the name of Allah before they start.
But isn't that a total contradiction to the ayah? I mean, it's a straight contradiction, right?
Sorry, explain. It's a contradiction.
Like the ayah you just recited,
Mhm.
it's in total contradiction to Shafi'i's thing, right?
Well, no, because so he took the opinion meaning that this word, and do not eat meat, command, unless what Allah's name has been prescribed. He said this is addressing the Muslims. So there's this whole thing about like, do the laws in the Quran pertain to non-Muslims also? When we say it's to pray, do they have to pray? No, obviously they're not. Do they have to make wudu? Right, we give a non-Muslim a Quran in Arabic, right? Do they have to have wudu beforehand? So this is a really big discussion amongst the scholars and so forth. So anyhow, this is one of those things that kind of fall in it also. Is this command for everyone in general, or Allah is only addressing the Muslims, right? Because there's another verse that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says that what the people of the book's meat is halal for you, and your meat is halal for them. Allah doesn't say that except and only if they mention Allah's name. Allah doesn't say that. This verse comes in, it's another verse. So other scholars say they take this verse and take this verse and they glue it together and they say, look, okay, they're all going together. But Imam Shafi'i said, no, that's one verse, and then this is talking to the Muslim in another verse, if you will. You understand that? That's how they understand it. So that's at least the way he looked at it.
A lot of Arabs who just eat at Costco or something. It's, they're based their opinion.
Most likely on that. Yeah.
So they wouldn't be wrong if
They
they're-
wouldn't be wrong, yeah. You could say that if someone follows the Shafi'i method, well, no, what? Honestly, those people that buy at Costco, if you tap them on the shoulder and say like, do you know this is not like, Zabiha meat, how is it slaughtered, how do you know? They're not going to say, Imam Shafi'i has his opinion. They have no idea. They probably know how to spell Imam Shafi'i's name, right? But the thing is though, maybe they're saying like, yeah, it's America, big deal, we're not in a Muslim country, and you don't be so harsh, right? If they say that, then that's another issue. Brother, you make the religion hard for you, right? You heard these ones before.
No, but I also heard that, they have a fatwa, right?
Okay, if someone's talking with knowledge, that's one thing.
Right.
If one person says, halal meat's more expensive than non-halal meat, so I don't want to buy halal. That's
My supervisor, now he's back in the Middle East, so he actually hired me, he was Palestinian. He was president of Masjid al-Ansar.
Oh.
So, I had this discussion with him, he was here. So he was like, I go by fatwa. I used to think the same way when, I was living in America.
But people don't have that much knowledge, general people. So they go with fatwa, whatever.
That's
they
fine,
call
as long as
it.
they know.
So they go with.
Right. So the layman, me and you, what's obligatory upon us is to ask. Not to go to Costco and buy everything, but to ask first. Shaykh, or is there a fatwa where someone has ask, oh, it's okay? Then you go to Costco. Otherwise, you never leave your house until you understand.
They ask, yes, they might not be asking the sheikh and everybody, but they ask their parents or grandparents. That's how we are. Like, for example, myself, I don't go and ask the sheikh or this person or that person. I believed what my parents have taught me is right. Yes, I should. Now I'm learning that I should kind of question. But then we go with what we learn, what our community says, or.
I think that's a big issue. I think that a lot of the young kids.
Most of the people quote the Surah Maida ayah too, that from today and the food of the the book, people of book and the women's of the are halal for you.
Right.
Most of the people quote this ayah when they are saying we can eat food from the Costco or from the person. This is the thing which I heard, that Surah Maida ayah clearly said that from today on, it's halal for you, the food and the women's of
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's that verse in there, right? So the quick issue is that you combine this verse in sort of an that talks about mentioning Allah with that, right? Or is that one separate, if you will, right? And that's a whole scholarly debate, And like I said, you go more into that and research that, etc. Like, we have a big discussion on it. But like I said, Imam Shafi'i is the only one who has that opinion of that. I'm not going to put it down or anything. I mean, I said the Hanafi fiqh, and there's certain Hanafi principles we have that no other madhab has, right? But I don't necessarily don't go with that because you guys have 3 opinions against my one opinion, and it depends, right? It depends how you are. So, but I'd say there is to extent to some. But now, do you know that beef from Costco? Did it come from a Christian person, or was this some random guy that slaughtered it? Could be some atheist, could be a Hindu guy, could be a Buddhist, could be a guy like I don't know, that's another issue. So hold on, is there now the question is that a doubtful matter? Remember that hadith about doubtful matters? Remember that one? So that hadith kicks in now. That's why this class is so important, and that's why we need to study because hadith come and they block you from different ways, and you put it all together like a big bowl of salad. You get an answer. So now, hold on. Is it doubtful now that I should think that this meat and Al persists that it was a Christian person? Because the majority of people in America are what? Are Christians. Some people say that is not the case anymore now. Atheism is on the rise. People are Christian by name. If you're Christian by name, is that still okay? If it's not okay?
But then also it comes down to what they recite, right? I mean, it's not-
Well, see, remember,
Christian, but-
remember Imam Shafi's opinion, like they don't need to say the name anymore, right?
But I'm talking about the other opinions.
Yeah.
Even let's say.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now I was working on this one opinion, but if you want, okay,
Yeah,
if
sorry.
you want to talk about that, that's fine. Right. So yes, so this came from a slaughterhouse in Nebraska, right? So some people have gone to the extent where they call like some mufti, some of the very famous couple imams we have here in America have already gone to like slaughterhouses. They've gone to New Zealand, they've gone to Australia. They always said like, if it's goat meat that comes from Australia, it's halal, it's eat it, Costco stuff like that, right? So he actually investigated this. His name was Abdullah Nahna. You can find him online, but he has a lot of articles he wrote.
Okay, Mufti Salim does that?
Mufti Salim, he does this example. There's a one called Abdullah Nahna, and he does it. He'd gone to Australia and New Zealand and actually went to slaughterhouses and see exactly how they did it. And then he had his opinion that yes, you could from New Zealand and Australia. And then he said there's some a little more detail. I'm kind of forgetting. It's like a couple exceptions he said he found. Right. So some people call up, the slaughterhouse, whether in Nebraska or whatever it may be. Hey, who slaughters your meat? How do you guys do it? First of all, do you guys shock? I don't even care. I don't want to know who the guy slaughters yet. I'm not even getting to that point yet. But how do you guys subdue your animal? Oh, we electrocute him first, and then he falls down. Okay, is the animal still alive at that time, or is he dead? Usually they're dead by that time, and then a guy comes and cuts the neck. Okay, thank you. Okay, now, we already answered our question already. We're done now. If he says no, it subdues the animal, makes them weary, fall down, but they're still alive. Okay, and I got another question for you now. Who slaughters your animal usually? Oh, it's usually about 5 or 15. We have 15 different people on shift during the week, and these are the guys who do it. Okay, are they Christian or who are they? Right? I don't know what their religion is. I don't know who these people are. I'm in the office. I don't know who they are. Well, I would like to know because Muslims are very Okay, maybe they'll get back to you. Or then, yes, you know what? All our guys are Christian. All our guys, we have we have a Hindu guy on Monday, we have a Christian guy on Tuesday, we have a Buddhist guy on Thursday. Okay, well, which meat on Tuesday comes up at my Costco in Corona? I can't help you, sir. I can't do that. Okay, thank you very much.
The fact of the matter is they don't care, right? Yeah, so they'll be like, oh, I don't know. Sometimes it dies, sometimes it doesn't.
So, is it necessary to eat this meat, all the time?
No.
Because our human body is not made like this. Our organs are not made like this.
Right.
Why don't we consider it as a plant-based?
That's another idea. I come a little bit later.
We should eat 4 days, 5 days, we should eat plant-based something,
Exactly.
dal chawal, something, and avoid, meat.
Yeah.
I heard Prophet ﷺ used to eat just once a week. Meat.
He never had the rice even,
Yeah, so I said there's a
Prophet
famous.
ﷺ never eat the rice, and people say he eat like this with 3 fingers and 4. He never saw the rice even.
I'm not too sure that. But yes, there's a famous hadith where Aisha radiallahu anha says that there was no smoke in our chimney for 3 months.
Yeah.
Basically, we didn't cook any meat. We didn't have meat. And even sometimes when he would get meat, he would give it away to others.
Yeah.
That was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's not thinking, oh my God, I can't believe a burger finally came.
You're talking about killing animals or something?
Yeah.
Plants.
Yeah, exactly.
The question comes, brother, that our halal grocery store, when we ask them about zabiha, they give us the doubtful. They say halal, but some of the stores just put the sign zabiha. So what is the what would be the ruling? Should we just take when it says halal, or we should look for
So
the
we talked about this like 2 weeks ago or something, or 3 weeks ago.
There's also machine slaughter.
Machine
If I want to-
That's
if
another-
I can add to that. Go ahead, sorry.
So I kind of answered this a couple weeks ago. I said that the default for when you interact with a Muslim is husna then, is good thinking. When I go to Brother Islam's house, I don't have to say like, which one in Corona did you buy it from? Is it machine slaughter? Alhamdulillah, Bismillah, you eat it, right? I'm not saying Bismillah to make it halal, sorry. That's just Bismillah just to eat. The general Sunnah Bismillah, if you will, sorry. Right? If I go over to Joe's house or Sally's house who's not Muslim, different story. Right? Different story, right? And so, but if you have some other issues or some other doubtful things in your head and you go to someone's house, then that's up to your personal choice. I don't want to eat, or I want to restrain. But that's sometimes not going to make the best friends between you and that person. And brotherhood is actually more important. And I think that we should focus on that. So I said, when it comes to Muslim, that's it. You know what I mean? When you want to go and you personally have an issue with the guy at the store, you want to know, can I see where you get it from? Is it from Tahir Chicken? Is it from this slaughterhouse? Or is it from Bakersfield? Whatever. Is it machine slaughter? You want to get into that stuff? Then you could do it. You know, you could go into that and so forth. But I don't know.
Is this right or no?
I don't think you need to. I know some people think it's a big thing. I'm not a really big. I really haven't looked into this topic very much. For me, it's not really super important to me. And so maybe some people might criticize me for saying that.
Sister is inviting you
Yeah.
for dinner. Then
For me, if it's hand slaughter or machine slaughter, I don't. For me, it doesn't really matter.
But she's talking. She's saying
I'm
she's
not talking about the
inviting
home.
home.
I'm talking about the grocery store.
Store.
When I go to buy the grocery, when I go to buy meat, I found out that it's not the zabiha. It just says halal.
Okay, that's
That's
fine.
what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah. See
They're
the.
writing the bag in the zabiha, halal, or
Right.
halazi.
That's it.
So
That's
it's
fine.
on them
That's all.
because we are going to see the
Yeah, that's
the
it. That's
halal
all.
sign.
That's all you are held accountable for.
The
But
concept
even,
is, I
even
think, that
if,
where
if I
it's-
have a doubt in my heart,
So
and
just
I
leave it.
don't feel like, it's a good.
If it is doubt, refrain.
Just
But like this is a Muslim grocery store, right?
yeah.
Yeah, then I think you shouldn't have that. I don't think you should have that. Right. Unless you know, like you're talking about other grocery store that they lied and stuff like that. That's different. But you won't be held accountable for that in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will be bringing that sin, right? But if they tell you, brother, I'm Muslim, okay, I see you at the masjid, yeah, I see you. We have halal meat right here, if you want it, that's it. That's it, okay?
That's it.
So how much is it? Give me a good price. That's what's more
Even
important.
if you go to non-Muslim friends, I have a lot of non-Muslim friends, Hindus and Christians, and they say they got the meat halal especially for me, and then I say I eat it because even though they are Hindus, I trust them because they know me and they it's not like I would say no, I'm not going to eat it
That's fine.
because they got it from me, especially if they're saying it.
Yes. I've had this multiple times where I've gone over places and even family members that don't really eat halal. That's another issue that told me, Shahid, we got halal meat just for you. We know you're coming over. I said, alhamdulillah, you didn't have to tell me that in the first place. I wouldn't have asked, and so, but anyhow, they did. So that, yeah, I mean, along with you trust them and stuff. I don't think they'll be lying or something like that.
So, one small question I have. So the butchers is where, they slaughter and get the meat to the store, right?
Yeah.
So now, most of the time when you go to, any other store, like, Spice Up or anywhere else,
Yeah.
they have probably Simply Fresh outside. I don't want to go there a lot, but they have Mexicans, touching and cutting it. So
Right.
that's not a problem.
No, but they can touch it all they want and eat and whatever and so forth.
Right.
Whatever they could.
I mean, in terms of being non-Muslim, it's
No.
not like, a lot of times you see.
They're just a guy handling it behind the
Yeah.
counter. It has nothing to do with that.
So that's not.
Right. Good, inshallah. So, I tell you this, you thought it was going to be a boring hadith, but it got excited in.
Always.
It's a problem with words. There's no non-exciting part to it, unless you don't explain it very well or something like that, right? But it's very practical. This is good. We need to talk about it. So, good. That's basically it for that. Okay, yeah. Let's go last little point. I don't want to go too much into this, but I kind of am. So they said that the cutting of the neck, that one thing is that, going back to remember I told you the fourth condition there, let the blood flow. Okay, so a little more details into that. So in your neck, our necks and most cows and so forth, I don't know too much about chickens, I'm assuming it might be the same. There's four main passageway of blood going through your neck. Right? You have two things called jugular veins. You have a right and you have a left. And then you have two arteries on the right. So what's the artery? Artery takes blood to organs, veins, take things back to the heart, right? So they said that when you cut the neck, that at least 3 of those veins or 2 of those veins should be cut. They're mostly talking about the jugular ones, right? That will get the blood coming out, if you will, right? Now, you don't need to ask like, okay, you slaughter, how many veins did you cut in your neck? This is only if you want to cut yourself. You don't need to ask anyone these questions, right? But I just wanted to go over it because it talks about blood flowing out. I'm not talking about the scientific meaning of it. How does the blood flow, right? Because this is the main parts that we have. So that's why this is the easiest way to have blood flow. Right? You have some arteries in your legs that are pretty big also, but this is the fastest way to get the blood out of the body. So I just wanted to mention that before we went to the hadith. So that's hadith that we have, hadith number 19. A lot of good benefit to also a little bit longer hadith that's mentioned on Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma قال كنت خلف رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يوما فقال يا غلام إني أعلمك كلمات احفظ الله يحفظك احفظ الله تجده تجاهك إذا سألت فاسأل الله وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله واعلم أن الأمة لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك بشيء لم ينفعوك إلا بشيء قد كتب الله لك وإن اجتمعوا على أن يضروك بشيء لم يضروك إلا بشيء قد كتب الله عليك رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف. And there's another narration that's mentioned that احفظ الله تجده أمامك تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء يعرفك في الشدة واعلم أن أخطاك لم يكن ليصيبك ما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك واعلم أن النصر مع الصبر وأن الفرج مع الكرب وأن العسر يسر. So here it's a great hadith here. On the authority of Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu. Yes. We said that one day I was behind the Prophet sallallahu okay, and he said, "O young man, I shall teach you some words of advice." Okay, kalimat. Be mindful of Allah and Allah will protect you. Be mindful of Allah and you will find Him in front of you. If you ask Allah alone. If you seek help from Allah. And know that if the nations were to gather together to benefit you with something, they will not benefit you with anything except what Allah has already prescribed for you. And if they were to gather together to harm you with anything, they will not harm you except with what Allah has already prescribed against you. The pens have been lifted and the pages have dried. And in the extra wording here, it's mentioned that another narration says, "Be mindful of Allah, you will find Him in front of you. Recognize and acknowledge Allah in times of ease and prosperity, and He will remember you in times of adversity. And know that what has passed you by and you have failed to obtain was not going to befall you, and what has befallen you was not going to pass you by. And know that victory comes with patience, and relief with affliction, and hardship with ease." This is like a major talk about 2 days on this one hadith. So a lot of advice, a lot of great wording that we can use here. So let's go over really quick and see how we can do in the next 15 minutes. So it's mentioned that Abdullah ibn Abbas mentioned that I was behind the Prophet ﷺ. He said, "Oh young man." So one thing we said that, first of all, he says, "Oh young man," because Ibn Abbas at that time, they said he was around 15 to 16 years old or younger. Okay? And so one thing you see here that is showing you that he was a young person and he was with the sheikh or the scholar at that time. He wasn't playing video games, he wasn't playing basketball, right? Maybe he was doing it every now and then, but he was with the learned person and trying to gain knowledge. A lot of our youth kind of lost this, and it could be that our scholars are not relevant to them, which is an issue, and they don't have time for the youth. But here you see that he's with them. And it's even mentioned that he was on the same animal as him, or he was on another animal, one of the two things. Are very close, like companionship, if you will, which we kind of lost in our community a lot, but you see that he has this like mentorship that's going on, right? That's something that's to think about.